Hello and welcome back to Stop and Go F1 for this, our coverage of the F2. After another fantastic weekend for the Formula 2, let's start with the sprint race of yesterday, which was very, very, very wet. We had Frederik Vesti on pole with Isaac Hadjar alongside him. In terms of the remainder of our championship contenders, Porsche was third, Behrman fifth, Iwasa seventh. So all the drivers start on the wets, and once again, the FIA are scared of rain. So we have a few laps behind the safety car on formation laps before the race actually gets started to try and dry out the track a little bit. For sure, pits during one of the formation laps for a new set of wets. I'm not entirely sure what he was thinking of there. Maybe he just thought that it would give him even better grip. I don't really know. We get a rolling start, which I don't like. I prefer standing starts, but there you go. And also the race is shortened to 19 laps. So overall, not a great start for spectators to the F2 sprint, but it would improve. Great start for Vesti from the start of the race. Iwasa had an issue and is basically instantly out, as is Brad Benavidez. And then Ollie Behrman turns into prime Ayrton Senna. He makes a fantastic move on Fittipaldi on the first lap to get up to P4. The safety car comes out again. This is for Benavidez. When that is cleared out, Behrman gets past Porsche for P3, and then he catches up to Hadjar and gets past him for P2. It was incredible stuff. Some of the best driving I've ever seen in Formula 2 was Ollie Behrman on these first few laps, and then it all went downhill from there for him because he has a bit of an issue on the last corner. He spins round, manages to hold it and continue, but he's lost that position to Hadjar. He's back down into P3. We get a battle further back between Fittipaldi and Doohan for P5. That's on lap 7, and then Porsche was able to get past Behrman now for P3 on lap 8. Behrman has just cooked his tyres through that spin and is just really defending for his life at this point. Fittipaldi and Martins are side by side for basically 3/4 of a lap, but Fittipaldi is able to defend and keep P6. Hadjar and Porsche start their battle for P2, and Behrman is now struggling very badly. And now Doohan is on the back of him, lap 10 of 19, and the Doohan-Behrman battle is the highlight of F2 this weekend. Doohan gets past him, but Behrman pushed him wide. This is the battle for P4 now. So Doohan goes for the move again, but goes off circuit, gets past Behrman, that has to give the place back. That's on lap 14. Hadjar now is struggling, and Ollie Behrman and Jack Doohan are now on the back of them. Behrman is able to go through on the inside of Copse for P3 on lap 15 of 19, and then Doohan gets past Hadjar for P4. So the Doohan-Behrman battle has also consumed Hadjar and then spat him out the other side, as now they're battling for the final podium position. Behrman under a hell of a lot of pressure from Jack Doohan for P3, and Behrman locks up whilst defending into the second to last corner, and Doohan goes up to P3. Behrman goes from P3 to P6 from that one mistake on lap 18. As Behrman goes off, Doohan goes past and gives him a little wave goodbye as he goes onto the final step of the podium. The race ends with Frederik Vesti winning, Porsche second, Doohan third. Behrman has to settle for P6, but a fantastic F2 sprint. Really, really great racing to see there. Now we turn to the F2 race this morning. Victor Martins on pole, Kush Maini alongside him. And our championship contenders, Iwasa is third, Behrman fifth, Porsche 8th, Frederik Vesti 10th. A beauty of a start from Iwasa, who jumps from P3 to P2 on the start. Martins was able to take back P2 before the end of take back P1 for the end of Sector 1. Now Behrman, he's woken up again and he's back attacking the leaders, but then Fittipaldi is all over the back of him. Doohan is able to overtake Fittipaldi for P8 on lap 5, and then Fittipaldi is right on the back of him again. So really, really attacking driving all across the grid this morning. Maloney is all over Vesti for P7, and that's on lap 6 when we see the likes of Fittipaldi, Vesti, Crawford, they all pit. Cordeal has stopped in Sector 3. whilst this is happening, Porsche is up and past Miney for P6. Then Hadjar passes Miney for P7. So Miney, who started on the front row, is now down to P7 in about as many laps. So not a great one for him. The safety car comes out due to Cordeal being stopped on the track. This is when all our leaders pit. So Martins is pit, Iwasa, Behrman, Doohan, Maloney, Porsche, Miney. Hadjar is leading the race from Arthur Leclerc. These guys both haven't pitted yet. This brings out the end of the safety car. But just as the safety car has ended, we see Vesti, Hadjar and Stanek have had some kind of incident. This brings out the safety car. Now, Stanek has DNF, but Vesti and Hauger were able to... no, it wasn't Hadjar in the instance, sorry, it was Hauger. Vesti and Hauger were able to get to the pits, change the tyres, change the front wing. Vesti goes back out again, but then instantly stops back on track. I think Hauger was able to continue, but this is huge news. Frederik Vesti, championship leader, the winner of the F2 sprint race, is out of the feature race. We get going again. The safety car comes back out, and Ollie Behrman makes another mistake going wide, and now he's down to P11. Maloney is able to get past Boschong, as does Théo Pourchaire. Fittipaldi goes massively wide and returns to the track at P17. This is when the penalties start, and this was a huge one for Victor Martins, a 5-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. This was on the first lap, when he was defending against Iwasa. Iwasa pushed him wide. He was able to keep P1 when he came back onto the track, then cut across Behrman. The stewards say that he should have given the position to Iwasa, I guess, for that. I think it's a bit harsh, to be honest, but it is a 5-second penalty there. Boschong and Miney come together. That brings out another safety car. This is when everyone on the alternative strategy, such as Hadjar, Leclerc, they all pit. There's another 5-second penalty now for Novalak for speeding in the pit lane. With 10 laps to go, the safety car comes in. Porsche is all over Maloney for P2, but then Leclerc comes out of nowhere down the inside and takes P3 off of Porsche. This on lap 21. Now Martins is just pushing like mad now. It's just fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap to try and build that 5-second lead at the front to try and keep the win. We get Maloney and Leclerc now battling for P2. Doohan gets past Novalak for P6 on lap 24. On lap 23, sorry. On lap 24, he gets past Iwasa for P5. Doing fantastic here. Porsche is now on the back of Leclerc. We get a penalty for Verschoor, 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane, and a penalty for Deruvala, 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. Porsche is able to get past Leclerc for P3 on lap 26, and then it's Doohan versus Leclerc, and Leclerc locks up, losing 2 places. Doohan really having the ability to intimidate the people in front of him at the minute to get him to lock up in the exact same position twice in 2 days. Deruvala passes Leclerc as well. That's on lap 27 and 29. And now on lap 28, Martins has built up a lead at the front of 5.5 seconds from Maloney. Behrman is able to pass Leclerc for P7. Then Fittipaldi passes Leclerc for P8. And as we cross the line, Victor Martins wins, even with a 5-second penalty, from Zane Maloney in second, Théo Pourchaire in third, Doohan's 4th, Iwasa 5th, Behrman 6th, Deruvala 7th, Fittipaldi 8th, Leclerc 9th, and then Crawford in 10th. 2 great days of racing here. Really interesting for the championship. Frederik Vesti still leads the championship, but I believe that Porsche is just 6 points behind now. Iwasa could have done better this weekend and should have done better this weekend, but he's still in it. Behrman is still in it as well, but is quite a way off. Needs to really pick up again. I mean, we've seen with Behrman, obviously, out of those 4 guys in the top 4, he's the only one who's in his rookie season right now, and you can tell, because as much as he's showing these glimpses, when he's on it, I don't think there's a better person in F2 than Ollie Behrman. I think when he's in the zone, like we saw at the start of this race, like we saw at the start of the sprint race yesterday, when he's in that zone, no one can touch him. Unbelievable stuff. But then he makes mistakes. And that's what we've kind of seen from him all year, really, especially towards the start of the year. Those mistakes are happening less, but they're still happening. I think this time next year, I reckon he'll still be in F2, and I reckon he'll be in a really strong position, probably leading the championship, because as soon as those mistakes go, he's on it. It kind of reminds me of when we were watching Verstappen at the start of his F1 career. You can tell the talent's there. You can tell the speed's there. but he would make mistakes. Behrman is in the same position, and I think it's only up from here. He's doing fantastic, and I think he should be very happy, but there's more to come from Ollie Behrman. I think for this year, the championship is between Vesti, Pourchaire, and Iwasa, and Iwasa is kind of on the outside now of that. Needs to get some more good results behind him. But yeah, this is very exciting for the championship. As for star of F2 for this weekend, Jack Doohan. I think he's the one who I think did some great attacking, great defending, kept his head when others lost it. Really good stuff from Doohan. I think he had a third and a fourth over the weekend, so good stuff there. Once again, the F2 delivers, and I can't wait to see the next one. Right, there'll be one more video on this channel today. It'll be the F1 reaction later on this afternoon, so that'll start. The F1 starts at 3 o'clock here UK time, so probably it'll be about 5:30 UK time. My reaction will be here, so I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, though, have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you later. Bye bye.